Hi, it's Siobhan at Bow Books. You might notice same hair bows, same outfit, same makeup. It is the same day as the last video. I have looked it up. The hair bows are by Donna's Bows UK, not Deborah's. Definitely check them out. I'll put the link in the description as usual. Today I'm probably gonna do another kind of review that goes off on a tangent, but I think the tangent is kind of inspired by the story, and that book is Wonderland by Juno Dawson, which is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. I have so many books. I might do this for like every single comparison book I've got. So I read this a while ago. It's on a list I've got of books to read, and it's really good, and I will talk about that another time and show you the list I'm working from. But for today we will be talking about this. So like I said, it's a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. Alice in this story is transgender, which is awesome, but also because Juno herself is transgender. I'll see if I've got one of her books from before her up, because she's definitely on this shelf somewhere. Well, not this shelf. Just a second. Sticking to my face. Okay, so another book I've got of Juno's is This Book is Gay. I haven't actually read this one, but it's a non-fiction, and it's talking about LGBT, and Juno is a huge campaigner, I guess, for rights. I know recently she was in Parliament Square doing a protest. So yeah, Wonderland is transgender Alice, which was really interesting to read in terms of getting inside the mind of a teenager who has been transitioning but isn't fully there. There was this a little bit near the back I put on my social. I'm gonna look into doing like a social just for booktube and books and stuff. I'm nearly there. Yeah, here. So it's called The Bathroom Question, and it's like all the questions that transgender people get asked when they're transitioning. And I think some of these are they're probably not in reference to another author, because this got published during lockdown, so very similar timings, but I think it's kind of pertinent. And some of her stuff is in shot. I have been thinking about redoing my bookshelves recently, so that probably is all going to get changed around, and we will talk about that in another video, I think. But for now, so Alice has spent the night with someone called Bunny Liddell, and Bunny's gone missing. So Alice wants to find where she's gone, and she ends up going to the party of all parties called Wonderland. Some things to note: this happens at a boarding school that she goes to. She doesn't board, she's just a day student, but you know, this is like high society sort of stuff. So, you know, an abundance of wealth, an abundance of possessions, and a disregard for things that other people struggle with. I thought at one point it was a bit much of a muchness, and it was quite early on as well, because, you know, Alice has to go into this tea shop and have a cup of tea, and then she gets given a drink by the person in charge, but it turns out to be alcohol, and then she gets given a key and has to find the place where she has to go for this party, and then they end up on a boat going to the actual place, and it was a whole thing. But I think what I found too much of a muchness was it has so much in it. It's, you know, it's drug taking, it's high society, it's transgender and LGBT issues, it's, you know, trying to fit into society. There's some political threads for it as well. It's a very short book, but it's very intense, and I did have a moment of, am I going to stop reading this? And then I kind of had this thought, and bear with me, because as much as I'm feeling like this was overload, I put it down somewhere else. Imagine what it would have been like reading this the first time it got published, like being in the heyday of Lewis Carroll's career, and reading about this caterpillar smoking a pipe and talking in riddles, and the Cheshire Cat who keeps disappearing, and what's going on, and why did she grow and then shrink, and all this other stuff. And it's really out there, and I think in those terms that was what ended up drawing me to this book more, because yes, it was a lot, so much to deal with, but isn't that like a great retelling of Alice, but like in modern setting? So that's what really grabbed me about this book, I think. Not so much the transgender stuff, because I have read other transgender authors, like Meredith Russo, so it's not like it's a nouveau thing for me, but reading a book that captures the essence of the original story in the setting, I think that's the thing that really spoke to me. And there are moments where like characters like, you being transgender isn't even the most interesting thing about you, Alice, and I was like, you know what, this is talking about the book. Like, not to be, it's so hard to talk about this without sounding like I'm being rude, but I know what they're trying, like Juno's trying to say, like being transgender is only a small facet of who she is. And actually she's an incredible storyteller, she's an activist, she does cabaret nights in Brighton, I think it says at the back. Stonewall activist, I don't know if you can see all that, like, and she's stunning as well. Like, the first time I saw her after she put her dead name to rest, she was in these killer boots and just striding along, and I was just like, girl, I want your legs and I want to be able to walk in high heels like you are. Like, I'm so jealous right now. I'm just off on so many tangents, aren't I? But then again, Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, I did think some things were a little on the nose, like Bunny Liddell, cat who keeps appearing out of nowhere to help Alice, but it doesn't seem like help, and someone who runs an app called Caterpillar, and the Tweedy brothers and stuff like that. So a lot of it is very on the nose, and I probably didn't need the names to work out who they were supposed to reflect in the original. But I guess if you haven't read the original and you only basically know the story, having that kind of reference point is a good thing. There's a lot of trauma in here as well, like I said, it's a lot. Like, Alice is also bipolar, and when she was 5, she and her mum witnessed someone fall from a building about 8 stories and die, and there's a twist to that which comes in at the end, but no spoilers. But yeah, like, some of the things that go on in this book, she's like, is this because I've not taken my meds? Is this because of my condition? Is this because of what I've witnessed as a youngster? Like I said, it's very small and there's so much in it. It's so intense. I think the only bad thing I would say about it, apart from like that moment where I was like, and then I was like, oh yeah, Alice, it's probably at the end, because there is no comeuppance for anyone who's cruel or unusual in there, and Alice is kind of biding her time. And it's like, if there's not going to be a sequel that's based on The Looking Glass but Alice wins, I'll be so disappointed. And I'm hoping that's what Juno's doing. I would be interested in who the Jabberwocky would be, because the Caterpillar was already kind of the gossip girl of the group, but we will see. Or maybe actually no, because the Jabberwocky was like the beast they had to slay, wasn't it, rather than Jabberwocky. So maybe it's a teacher. That'd be good. Because they went back to school at the end of it. Ooh, getting hair stuck everywhere. I thought it was interesting as well, like, who, I can't say that, that's a spoiler. So yeah, I would recommend this book. I would say go into it with eyes wide open and go along for the ride, understand that it is intense, it is a lot of topics to cover that, you know, have, I don't know if you can see that, there's a reflection of my windows on my bed. I've got like crystal things and they're like, sorry, totally off topic, but I don't know if you can see on my bedroom wall. It's all like rainbow. Anyway, so yeah, I would say go into this with like eyes wide open, and just, yeah, go in with that mindset of this is what it was like reading the original Alice for the first time. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about that book. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm sorry it's a lot shorter than I thought it would be, but look at the source material. I've got books thicker than the two of them together. And this is probably one that has, yeah. It's like a glossary at the back. Wait a sec. Yeah, that's the original Alice. Not as bad as Gulliver. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.